strategy I would take is first you have to find out who the VCs are. So there's some websites, CVA I think is one of them, or some associations, Canadian Venture Capital Association. So first of all, you want to find out who's out there that has money. Then you really want to narrow it down to finding out what their sort of sweet spots are. Because even me in the early days when I was looking for money, I would just, shotgun approach and go see a lot of people. And you'd arrive and you'd get to their office and you'd finally realize that either they aren't even looking in the space you're selling, or else they're in the money bracket is much higher or lower than what you're looking for, kind of thing. So you really got to do your research, and you narrow it down to the few that are available in your area, in the area of expertise in that area. And you can look at a lot of previous deals that they've done. So once you figure out which companies are potentially viable, look at their previous deals to see if any of them match. And then you can find out who funded those ideas, because oftentimes in a VC firm you'll have different experts in different areas. So you can usually track a line of deals in energy sector or deals in the internet sector from a couple of partners. So then once you've narrowed it all down, and then really it's a matter of just sending them the plan. Email them the plan. Once you've nailed down who you want to see in the target market, then you just got to get them the plan. It really helps if you can somehow get an introduction there. Yeah, you're right. They do see so many plans are coming in all the time, and it's really easy to sort of say no to a plan when there's no introduction. There's no kind of connection there, and I think VCs will spend a little more time on a plan if there's an introduction. So if you can somehow get through that way, it makes a big difference actually, because then I think there's more effort put in on saying no if they have to say no. That's so far what I can think about.
How about Andrew?
Yeah, I mean we're not as I said before, we're not really VC investors, so I probably don't have a ton of advice. Although I have, in a previous life, I have had some experience in VC investing. One of the things I'd add to what Colin said is, in terms of selecting, you probably, to the extent you can, I would pick VC providers of funds that are actually geographically fairly close to where you are. For the simple reason that it's a pretty active, it's not a very passive thing, VC investing, and my experience has been that people like to be close to their investments. So there's probably not a lot of point going, to VC providers in Vancouver if you're in Oshawa.
Okay. And Grant?
In my role, I talk to an awful lot of early stage companies. People come to me with regard to, I'm trying to raise venture capital, and they're asking me to do a referral. One of the things, and you talk about the business plan, because a lot of business plans end up on my desk, and you read the first paragraph, it tells you something about an industry. Truly, what I ask anybody to do who's wants me to do a referral is they need to get the business plan down to one page. I need to see an executive summary that really is focused, that says, this is what I'm doing and why it's truly unique. This is who I've partnered with to date. So, if there's anybody you've partnered with, worked with, so that, that can provide some endorsement of what you're trying to do. How much money do you want, and what are you going to do with it? And so I'm looking for those 4 points. And what I have discovered, that when I'm trying to do a referral, I want the person to open up my email and then, really try to look at it, say, yeah, I'm interested, and make a phone call. So really that executive summary, to me, is all you're trying to do is get the VC to phone you back and say, I'm interested, I want to learn more. You haven't spent a lot of their time, and also as a referrer, I'm comfortable that the company has at least thought their way through that process.
Okay, thank you. Now this,
and I can add a little bit too.
Sure.
Just coming to mind a couple of things. Also, there are lots of angel organizations around, and they vet plans for 40 or 50 angel investors. So if plan gets vetted by them, then you get to do a presentation in front of 40 or 50 angel investors, and that's a good way. So if angel investors come in for maybe a 2-hour or an hour session with 4 presentations once a month, and they see what's going on very quickly. And also, so those are the private ones, and then there's also public ones where there's venture fairs happening 2 or 3 times a year. There's one at Mars for life sciences stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. There's always one in March, and that can be a 2-day event where 40, 50 companies do presentations, and that's a good way to get through too.
okay,
I can add
okay,
just
sure,
one
go,
other thing.
Julian.
as was mentioned by Colin, Colin, sorry,
Yeah.
the angel investment is obviously a good route to go. I was speaking to one of my colleagues at the National Angel Association, and he was telling me that pretty much Series A financing for venture capitals at a very, very, very early stage has dried up a lot in Canada. With a lot of VCs out here are looking to fund higher second-tier stages. I mean, there are select VCs like yourself who are looking to fund that kind of early stage, but a lot of small businesses are looking for that initial 500K, and most VCs really don't want to touch anything in that range. You're looking maybe 2 million, 3 million, 4 million startups. So I do recommend don't, if you're a small business just getting off the ground, don't even think of approaching the VCs right away. Look to get yourself vetted, as was mentioned by angels, because once you've received even just an initial amount of funding, you're infinitely more attracted to people with more money because you've been vetted by somebody who thinks that you've got a worthy you're a worthy investment, and the greater the track record of the angel, the more qualified you look for higher scale investment, because obviously just it's like anything, you look more attractive, people want what other people want. So
Okay, this question is